Scott Rolen is the only member of the 2023 class to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a spicy video, so get ready for it. But if you do enjoy it, if you enjoy the rant, maybe if you agree with me, or if you just enjoy baseball content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're almost to 4,000 subscribers, but let's talk about it. First, I do want to congratulate Scott Rolen. He is arguably one of the best third basemen of all time. I don't want to take anything away from him with anything that I'm about to say, because let's just take a look at his stats. 70.1 career WAR. I know the threshold changes depending on position and era and everything, but if you get over like 50, 55, you're pretty good. I mean, you have a pretty good chance. So 70 WAR there in 7,398 at-bats. He had 2,077 hits, which is a career batting average of 281, 316 home runs, a 1,211 runs, 1,287 RBI, stole 118 bases, had a career OPS plus of 122 across 17 seasons. Also, you can throw in his accolades of being an 8-time Gold Glove winner, 7-time All-Star, Silver Slugger, a Rookie of the Year, and the 2006 World Series champion, which he won with the Cardinals and arguably had his best years with the Cardinals. The dude was good, okay? Congratulations to Scott Rolen. He deserves it, okay? I would arguably say that he deserves it, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. Now, when you compare it to other guys, that's a different conversation. So, we're going to get into that a little bit. And then another gripe that I have about the Baseball Hall of Fame, but you can look at his numbers. He's probably a Hall of Famer, okay? And I think, first of all, the Baseball Hall of Fame is the hardest thing to get into. It should be not expanded, but it should not be as hard as it is to get into the Hall of Fame. And I don't think it's necessarily fair across the board, but I think Scott Rolen should be in the Hall of Fame. So again, congratulations to him. I'm glad that he has made it, and like I said, I think he deserves it. Probably not somebody I would have necessarily voted for, but I think that he deserves it. So let's talk about the Baseball Hall of Fame. As of going into today, because there's private votes and public votes and anonymous votes and everything like that that come out at different times, Scott Rolen had 80% of the vote. You need 75, and Todd Helton had 78.7% of the vote. Usually when the announcement is made, you drop anywhere between 5 to 10% or so, maybe not quite as dramatic in some years, but Helton was in the picture. He is no longer in the picture. At least this year, he will have to wait another year. I do think he will get in eventually, but look at his numbers too. A little bit under on 61.8 WAR, had a career OPS plus of 133. Yes, he played for the Rockies, and that's probably what's skewing his numbers a little bit. For 17 years, he was there the entire time, but had a 316 career batting average with 369 home runs, 1,400 RBI, 37 stolen bases, and 1,400 runs. To me, if you ask me straight up between those two, I know they were different positions. And Todd Helton was a first baseman, which arguably has some of the tougher time or criteria to get in, but a 5-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove winner, 4-time Silver Slugger, and was the batting champion. Had a really, really good year in 2000. Finished 5th in MVP voting, which I don't know how that happened, to be honest. That was really screwy. But you look at Todd Helton's numbers, I arguably think they're better than Rolen's. I would have voted for Todd Helton. I would not have voted for Rolen over a bunch of the other guys, but you look at those guys, Helton will get in, okay? It's very clear. He's very similar to Larry Walker. He will get in. Probably just have to wait another year, maybe 2, but he should get in. The final voting tally, like I said, those numbers beforehand, the voting tally ended, if I had it pulled up. Oh boy, where did it go? Shoot. I did have it pulled up. Why am I not finding it anymore? Now I'm really upset. It was 72%. If I can remember. I'm not exactly sure. 72%. So Helton did not get in by like 2% of the vote. Billy Wagner is also in the conversation. I think he's a Hall of Famer. He got like 68% of the vote, and I believe Rolen got 78% of the vote. But again, those numbers might be a little bit off, so please forgive me. There's two things that I have wrong with the Baseball Hall of Fame. Not only is it the hardest thing to get into, but you look at some other guys who are not in the Hall of Fame, specifically Barry Bonds. Call me a crybaby. I don't care. Call me a stan for Barry Bonds. I don't care. This dude is a Hall of Famer. Just hear me out. I don't care if you did steroids, you still had to hit the ball, right? And that's my argument. This dude had 162 WAR, okay? 162 WAR. He's not in the Hall of Fame. An OPS plus of 182 for his career over 22 years. You're kidding, right? His 762 home runs, 4 shy of 2,000 RBI. Led the entire MLB forever. The history of the MLB in home runs, in walks, and in intentional walks. This dude's not in the Hall of Fame. Had 7 MVP awards, 14 All-Stars, 8 Gold Gloves, 2 batting championships, 12 Silver Sluggers, and 3 Player of the Year for TSN, whatever that means. But you're joking. This guy's not in the Hall of Fame. Again, I don't want to take anything away from Rolen. I don't want to take anything away from Helton. The Hall of Fame is not the Hall of Fame without Barry Bonds. And probably Pete Rose, too. Probably some other guys in there as well. You can't legitimately say this is a Hall of Fame without those two guys. And, again, I think that Rolen is probably a Hall of Famer. I think there are other guys that are also worthy of it. You can't say, I think baseball has discredited the Hall of Fame by allowing players like Rolen to get in that are not Barry Bonds. Like, they have themselves discredited it. It's not that Rolen is a bad player. Like I said, I think he should get in. It's that they have discredited him by not allowing Barry Bonds in. That's my take on it, though, because you cannot have the best player in baseball not be in the Hall of Fame and call it a Hall of Fame. So, fight me on that in the comments, maybe. But I again, congratulations to Rolen. This is where I think it's the most interesting. This is where I think baseball is really screwy. So, if you're going to vote, and this happens every year. This is not specific to Rolen. This happens every year. If you're going to tell me that Rolen is a Hall of Famer, why wouldn't he get in the first year, right? Same thing with Barry Bonds. I mean, same thing with so many guys. Like, I'm not saying everybody should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, because I think there are guys who can compete, in that 50% range, right, for a long time and then finally get the push, right? But like Jeff Kent, okay? Is he a Hall of Famer? Clearly not, based on these rules, right? And I don't have his stats pulled up. We can do that quick. Jeff Kent stats. Like this guy, 55 career WAR, 377 home runs, 290 career batting average, 123 OPS plus 1,500 RBI. That sounds exactly like Scott Rolen. I mean, 15 less WAR, maybe. A little bit less stolen bases. A few more home runs. Those guys are not far off from each other, right? And one gets in and one doesn't, right? Pretty much played the same positions. First base, second base, third base was Jeff Kent. Like, you cannot tell me that one guy should get in over the other. But the second thing is like, why were people so eager to push Jeff Kent in this year, right? If you're going to say Rolen gets in, and they're pretty much the same guy, very similar, the dude only got so many votes because it was his last year, right? Edgar Martinez didn't get in until his last year. Arguably one of the best, if not the best, DH ever, right? Didn't get in until his last year because everyone starts to vote for him as they go on, right? You look at Rolen's numbers over his career in the voting. He appeared on the ballot in 2018, so this is, I think, his 5th year. He gained 10.2% of the vote his first year, right? 17% the second year, 35%, 52%, 63%, and now 6th year he gets in with 78%. Right? This is where I just don't get it, right? like, if he's a Hall of Famer, why did he not get in the first year, 2 years, 3 years, right? I think 3 years is honestly, it should be the max, right? Is he a Hall of Famer or is he not? That is the question. And voting is so screwy in baseball, Hall of Fame stuff, right? Like, people vote off their gut. Like, that's why Barry Bonds didn't get in, because people didn't like him, right? That's why. And I feel like they just have this soft spot for these guys in this 10th year. You know, like, if you look at it, and he only got 10% of the votes, you're telling me that they voted 90 other % of people in that first year that Rolen did not get in? You know what I'm saying? Maybe another way to put it is, like, why was he a Hall of Famer this year compared to last year and the year before and the year before and the year before, right? Were there that many better players on the ballot in the last 4 years that he couldn't have been voted for? No, it's not, because voters choose how many votes they get out of 10, right? They can vote for 1, they can vote for none, they can vote for 4, they can vote for 10, right? They pick and choose. It's the worst system possible to vote for the Hall of Fame. It's so screwy. It's not a legitimate Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Scott Rolen, but the MLB is basically telling you, like, yes, great, you made it, but hey, we're not going to keep the best guys in the Hall of Fame, so I guess you can have it. Like, it's really, it's a cheap shot almost. I don't know. That's just my rant. I rant about this all the time. Congratulations to Scott Rolen. I think he deserves it. I just think the MLB is delegitimizing the Hall of Fame, and that only hurts players like Rolen or like Kent. Kent might get in the honorary, whatever different committees that there are in a couple of years, because 200 and 400 voters or whatever said he couldn't get in now. He's not going to get in. Same with Barry Bonds. He'll get in eventually, but it's a joke. It's my rant. Let me know if you guys agree with me. If you don't, that's okay too. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, though. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.